Okay, as promised, I'd be back with a little math, and this is super important. I can tell you from my time in hotels, whether I was in rooms division or food and beverage division, and now certainly with a larger purview over the total operation, food cost percentage is discussed all of the time. I'll say that contribution margin and labor cost percentage are talked about a little bit less, but you do have those here because those are industry standards. But in the example that I'm providing, if a food and beverage department had $12,379 in sales and invoices from purchasing of the food, like all of the food that was used to make those items that were sold, was $3,499. You also have 8 cooks who worked 8 hours each at $18 an hour. So I'm asking about the food cost and the labor cost. And so first for food cost, I've given you what expenditures were outlaid for those sales. So you would take $3,499 divided by $12,379 to get the food cost percentage of 28.3%. It is typical to go to the 10th of a percent when reporting this out. And then you also have the the labor cost. So if the 8 cooks worked 8 hours each, and then times it by $18 an hour, and that would give you, divided by the sales of $12,379, would be the 9.3% for labor cost. I do want to highlight that there's a little bit more that comes into labor cost, because it's not just those cooks, but maybe all of the other prep work that happened behind it. So this was just a pretty simplistic view so that you could look at the concepts. Likewise, I have another kind of way of thinking about food costs that I'm going to show you. Okay, so here I have a simple Excel spreadsheet open for you, and I've done it a little differently, where in normal operations, there's going to be an inventory that happens of all of the food items in the food storeroom. And so let's say, for example, that the starting inventory of all of the items that you counted and their cost is $10,500. And then in that given month, you had purchases of $15,000. You then do an ending inventory on the last day of the month. So let me just go ahead and put some dates here. So let's say it was for last month. So January 1st, you have you've counted all of your food, and this is the dollar amount that you have. And let me just go ahead and make sure that we all know we're talking about dollar amounts. The purchases are from January 1 until January 31. And then at the very end of the night, on the 31st of January, you take another inventory, and you realize that you only have $5,000 worth of food items left. So you've been a little bit depleted. The inventory used would therefore be your starting inventory plus everything you added during the month minus the ending inventory. So I've done a quick little formula there that gets us that we used $20,500 worth of product to be able to generate the sales for that same time period of January 1st to 31st of $100,000. And so to get the food cost percentage, it's cost divided by sales. So I would take what it cost me to purchase all of those food items that I prepared to generate the $100,000 in sales. And I have a 20.5% food cost, which is actually quite good. It's a little bit better than the example that I gave you, but I wanted you to see the concept of how it could work in real life. So hopefully that helps to bring the math a little bit more to life for you. It is a super important component if you're thinking about food and beverage. And you've seen these components of calculating these things in the rooms division as well. So we have a common trend of needing to make sure that we're good business partners in all areas of hospitality. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to let me know.